guys, this is Fierce in the key of G. Like always, I'll start off just playing straight through the song, and then afterwards I will talk about the chords and just anything that's helpful to know when playing the song. And in the description, I'll put the timestamp for when that kind of the talking stuff happens, so you can jump straight to that if you have any questions about the chords or just want to listen to that before you practice it for the first time. So here we go. asleep by the end of the song. Okay, so I'll just go through the chords that I'm playing here. So I do the C like this, which makes it really easy to go straight into that G that's just right there. You can play it like this. So that sounds okay. I just think it's a little easier to switch from this C right into that G. And then, like, in the verse, it's got D sus in there, which I'll play, and sometimes I'll put that in the intro, too. If you just play your regular D, that'll sound fine. Or you could do the D sus. Before I call, before I ever cry, you answer me from where the thunder hides. And then in the chorus, there's E minor 7. You can play just a regular E minor, and that'll sound fine. And sometimes I forget about that E minor 7 and just play the regular E minor. But again, if you do C like that, and then you've got your G, and then you leave these two fingers right where they are, and you just do that E minor with these two fingers. And then you actually can just leave these fingers where they are again, and come down to do your D sus. And then you finally lift that pinky up to go to your regular D. So for the chorus, these two fingers can just stay right where they are that whole time. Until you get to that regular D. But you can play it without doing any of the special stuff too. So you could just do, and that'll sound fine, or your other C. Yeah, so that's all the chords that's in this song. It's nice because it just repeats the same stuff. So I think maybe I'm going to talk about some transitions in this song, going from one section of the song to another. So after that first chorus into verse 2, that transition, you just stay on the C. And sometimes it feels like, oh, I need to switch to something else, but you just stay. So I'll play the end of the chorus so that you can hear that part again. Like a hurricane that I can't escape, tearing through the atmosphere, your love is fierce. There's that C again, and one more time. The only thing I've found. So you just hang on that C until the person starts singing, and then you switch where that next G is. Your love is fierce. And then stay again, and then we start singing. You cannot fail, the only thing I've found. And then it's a really similar feel to it when we go from the chorus to the bridge. There's that instrumental at the bottom of the page, and the thing that gets kind of confusing, I think, with this is the last C that's written at the end of the chorus is like the same C that's written at the beginning of the instrumental. So you're not going to play the C like 3 times, you'll just play it twice. So I'll play it starting at the end of the chorus again, and I'll talk about what chords I'm playing as I go. So, like a hurricane that I can't escape, tearing through the atmosphere, your love is fierce. There's that first C, there's the second C, and then here's the E minor. You chase me down, you seek me out. How could I be lost when you have called me found? So I'll do that one more time, just because if you're looking at exactly how it's written, there's like the first C that is written in the chorus, and then there's 2 more C's in the instrumental, but really that last chorus C is that first instrumental C. So it's kind of weird. You just play the C twice. So I'll do it one more time. Like a hurricane like looked at my own hand in the video switching and was like, there you go, you got it. But like, yeah, that's me playing it. So I hope you got some amusement out of that if you're watching this video. So another kind of tricky transition, we'll do a break coming out of the bridge. So I'll play through that a couple times. I'll just kind of talk through it first. So it'll be, you chase me down, you seek me out. How can I be lost when you have called me found? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a tidal wave. I forgot the words there. But it'll be, so you stay on that D. And then you just hit that first C of the chorus and let it go. And then you come back in with crashing over me. In the video, or the recording that I did right at the beginning where I played straight through it, I kind of played the like drum fill that we would normally have, because otherwise it sounds kind of empty. So I'll play it a couple times right now, and that break might sound a little empty, but like if everyone does that kind of fill, then the break isn't a very clean break. So usually it's like just the drums that'll come in and kind of do this like fill to kind of build up to it. And so I played that in the beginning, going straight through the song, but you don't need to do that, because either, like if we've got a drummer, the drummer will do that, and if not, then we'll just have like the one like lead acoustic do that, and then everyone will come in like really hard and crisp on that G in the chorus, and that'll make it sound like a really good clean break, rather than like, oh, we're all kind of trying to start it coming back in, and yeah, it just gets kind of muddy and unclear. So so I'll play through that break a couple times without the fill, and it'll sound kind of weird, but this is what you should be playing. So, you chase me down, you seek me out. How could I be lost when you have called me found? Like a tidal wave crashing over me. Okay, so I'll do that one more time. You chase me down, you seek me out. How could I be lost when you have called me found? Like a tidal wave crashing over me. Okay. And then the ending can be kind of confusing, again, if you're just trying to play exactly what the paper says, because there's a C at the very end of that ending, and that is kind of saying, like you could end on this chord, although I think we'll probably end on a G, but I think it's helpful, like, to either kind of ignore the ending, and I'm just kind of, like, I'm playing through the chorus, is really, it's the same chords as the chorus, or the same chords as the intro, if you want to think about the intro, but I know I've had people just struggle with, like, getting one chord off. My computer's timing out on me again. When they're going through the ending, and I think it's easier sometimes when you just kind of get into that pattern to just let yourself go with that pattern, rather than, like, trying to switch exactly when it says to switch, because sometimes it's just, your brain just gets too confusing and trying to think it's more complicated than it is. And also, there might be some weeks where we just sing that ending exactly how it's written, and then we end the song, and there might be some weeks where we do sort of like a fake ending and then quietly come back in and kind of play through it some more. So from week to week it'll be a little bit different. Yeah, and I don't know, we'll talk about exactly what the ending will look like as we're actually in rehearsal that week. But just be prepared that maybe we'll end it, or maybe we'll kind of keep playing through that. So I'll play that ending, just, you know, if you really struggled with getting lost on the chords there, especially when we repeated it again. So I'll do that a couple more times. So I'll start with the end of the chorus. Oh, and I want to talk about real quick, when we repeat that chorus, it's kind of that same thing that we see when we're going into the instrumental. That C that's written at the end of the chorus is the same C that's at the beginning of the chorus. So you don't try to play the C and then hit the C again. You just do it once. So repeating the chorus will be like a hurricane that I can't escape, tearing through the atmosphere. Your love is fierce. That's the last and the first. So your love is fierce, like a tidal wave. Yes, and it's the same thing. It's that same thing, like there's a C written at the end of the chorus and the beginning of the ending. It's just the same C. So, tearing through the atmosphere, your love is fierce. Your love is fierce. Your love is fierce. Your love is Sometimes, to bring it down, I'll kind of skip singing one of those "Your love is fierce" lines. Your love is fierce. Your love is fierce. Yeah, and it gets confusing because we're singing the same line, but depending on like which line you're looking at in the ending, it's got like different chords over it. So that's one of the areas that like really, if you're getting lost, just remind yourself that it's simpler than what it looks like on here. Don't like freak out about like lining up the chords with what word I'm singing. Just kind of let yourself feel the music, because it's the same pattern as the intro, as the verses, as the chorus. So just kind of let yourself feel it and let your fingers kind of do the thinking for you a little bit, because it really is, it's simpler than it looks. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks, guys.